The novel I read was Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe. I looked through it through the Marxist lens, so basically looking at gender roles and different roles throughout the society. My theme statement is Chinua Achebe portrays the relationship between men and women in the novel Things Fall Apart to portray the theme that women are not as valuable as men in their society, because of the way that men treat the women throughout the book and how the women act and what their roles are in the novel. My first piece of evidence for this is, I'll read the evidence right now. The elders, or Nadichi, met to hear a report of Okonkwo's mission. At the end, they decided, as everyone knew they would, that the girl should go to Ogbuefi Udo to replace his murdered wife. As for the boy, he belonged to the clan as a whole, and there was no hurry to decide his fate. Basically, tying back to how women are portrayed in this novel, this shows that comparing the boy and the girl's fate is decided almost instantly while the boy's fate remains unknown. The girl must give up her old life, everything she has known, in her hand in marriage to a stranger to pay for somebody else's crime. This new girl seems to be considered a complete replacement for Ogbuefi Udo's former wife, implying that women are all the same and interchangeable. Women here are passed around like ununique objects in this society. My second piece of evidence for this theme is Okonkwo ruled his household with a heavy hand. His wives, especially the youngest, lived in perpetual fear of his fiery temper. How this relates to the theme is that men are the dominant sex and they rule over their families, including their wives. Women are basically servants to the men and always live in fear of their husbands. Even though Okonkwo's temper with his family is never portrayed as a good thing or something to be proud of, he still has the right to be aggressive at home. One sort of word that is evidence for this theme is in the following quote. Even as a little boy, he had resented his father's failure and weakness, and even now he still remembered how he had suffered when a playmate had told him that his father was Agbala. That was how Okonkwo first came to know that Agbala was not only another name for a woman, it could also mean a man who had taken to title. Basically, this word it's used as another term for women. So in this culture, women are considered weaker than the men, and thus it's an insult to men to be called Agbala, since Agbala is another name for women. Okonkwo is aware of what it means and takes to be a man in the Igbo tribe, and is ashamed that someone might call him Agbala. He knows he's being mocked. My last piece of evidence for this actually goes against my theme into showing how one part of the story actually women are seen as higher than men in just one aspect of it. Uchendu begins by saying, "Can you tell me, Okonkwo, why it is that one of the commonest names we give our children is Neka, or Mother is Supreme? We all know that a man is the head of the family and his wives do his bidding. A child belongs to his father and his family, and not to its mother and her family. A man belongs to his fatherland and not to his motherland. And yet we say, Neka, Mother is Supreme. Why is that?" "I do not know," the answer, Okonkwo replied. "Then listen to me. It's true that a child belongs to its father, but when a father beats his child, it seeks sympathy in its mother's hut. A man belongs to his fatherland when things are good and life is sweet, but when there is sorrow and bitterness, he finds refuge in his motherland. Your mother is there to protect you. She is buried there, and that is why we say that Mother is Supreme." Basically, this is saying that Uchendu states how the mother figure in this quote offers her child unconditional compassion, something a father never could provide for their child. Uchendu presents fathers as a kind of friend, not really a parent. This explains why a man is exiled to his motherland when he has committed a crime and why he can find sympathy and forgiveness there. And that is why Uchendu states that Mother is Supreme. This all ties back to the original theme of how men are portrayed as higher than women, and we still see this in our society today although it's getting better, there are still places where, like in the jobs and in the workforce and a lot in the STEM fields, we see that women are not as equal as men are, whether they're paid differently or there's just not corresponding numbers, like between, for example, there's more men working in engineering jobs than women, and this is just a generalization, but we still see this in our society today. However, it's not as bad as it is in this novel.